everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe. I'm a portrait and wedding photographer out of Nashville, Tennessee and St. Louis, Missouri. And today I want to talk about how to become a wedding photographer. So everybody has a different story on how they started, but I wanted to share some of mine and maybe it'll help you on your photography journey. I've been shooting weddings since 2014 and I did it all by myself. I probably don't recommend doing what I did, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So when I started wedding photography in 2014, no, let me back up. So in 2012, I got my first DSLR and I was like, I really like taking pictures. And one of my friends paid me $50 to shoot her wedding at this local park. And it was like a picnic, really relaxed wedding. And I was shooting her wedding photos and I was like, oh my god, I really like doing this. This is so much fun. So I decided that the first thing I was going to do was learn how to become a wedding photographer. So I YouTubed how to become a wedding photographer, like you probably did to get to this video. And I watched a ton of videos, did creative live classes. I watched like SLR lounge videos, which I highly recommend if you're first learning how to do photography. But I also didn't know how to shoot manual at that time, so everything was like on auto or aperture priority or shutter speed priority, so everything was like automatic, everything that I was doing. So anyway, I don't know if that's really relevant, but I didn't know what I was doing basically. So I decided, hey, to get better at this, I need to shoot a wedding. So how do I find clients? So back in the day when Craigslist was a thing and people were still going to Craigslist to find photographers, I put up a Craigslist ad and I was like, I'll shoot your wedding. I'll shoot your 8-hour wedding for $800, which I don't recommend doing. Don't do what I did, but somehow I got super lucky and this girl called me and she was having a vineyard wedding. Vineyard wedding, guys. It was ridiculously beautiful. It was so pretty and I got so lucky. So I went there with my Canon Rebel, which had the crappiest grain, but her wedding was outside and I left before the sunset. So I didn't have to use flash, plus I didn't know how to use flash at that time. I didn't know anything, I just knew how to shoot on auto. I'm actually really proud of this wedding. I thought I did a pretty good job considering I didn't know what to do and I was just watching YouTube videos to teach myself. I thought the wedding was really beautiful. Some of these photos got me other photography gigs, other weddings. And so after I shot that wedding, I started, advertising more on Craigslist. I wasn't on the Knot or Wedding Wire at this time. So I was just shooting random things, random people. I put a Craigslist ad up for portraits for $50. So for an hour of portraits, you can pay me $50 and I will shoot those photos. And here are some of the photos from that time period. As you can tell, they're not the best, but they're not horrible. They're in focus. And at that time, I also didn't know how to use Lightroom, so I was editing these in Photoshop and it would take me about an hour per photo because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about presets. I didn't know about Lightroom. Again, I knew nothing. But, my clients were happy, so I just learned as I went. I kept on shooting. I kept on putting Craigslist ads. I somehow kept on getting weddings from these pictures. So on my Craigslist ads, I would just have photos from that first wedding, like the prettiest photos from that first wedding, and some of my portrait sessions that I was somehow finding clients for. And then I got a girl that was like, do you have more wedding pictures? And I was like, sure. So I decided I was going to buy a wedding dress and I got 2 of my friends to model for me. So I dressed my friend up and we went to a local park and I shot wedding pictures so that I could have more than one wedding on my portfolio. And some of those shots were really cute. The colors were pretty. If I were to shoot it today, obviously I would do a much better job. But I was really happy with those photos and so I advertised those like crazy. And I got more weddings. Now these were all budget, like really low budget type of weddings. I wasn't getting like fancy, beautiful wedding planner, gorgeous arrangements kind of wedding. They were all like kind of country weddings or small weddings or intimate elopements. And I was happy because I was still getting paid to do photography, which I love to do. So after doing this for about 6 months, I decided No, I just kept growing. And so at that time, somebody from The Knot reached out to me, and Wedding Wire reached out to me. And so I decided, hey, I'm going to try to invest in some of these advertisements. And so I put my photos up on these advertising sites like The Knot and Wedding Wire. And I got no leads because my photos sucked. I was still using a Rebel with the kit lens, and so I decided to upgrade my gear. I decided to learn how to use Lightroom. I watched more videos. I learned how to shoot manual, and eventually my photos became better and better, and I started getting more and more clients and more weddings. And today I shoot about 35 weddings a year, and I'm totally self-learned. I learned basically from YouTube, and that's how I became a wedding photographer. I get better as time went on. I learned more, I shot more, and the more that you shoot, the better you're going to get at photography. If I were to start it all over again, I would not do what I did. I would not risk not knowing what to do and going and shooting somebody's wedding, because that's really risky. And now that I'm more like, don't do that. I still can't believe I did that. So today, like if you were to become a wedding photographer in 2022, I would highly recommend that you become an assistant to either a wedding photographer, or you second shoot for another wedding photographer, or third shoot for a wedding photographer. And to do this, I would go on Instagram or go on The Knot and reach out to local wedding photographers in your area. They might not let you second shoot because you don't know what you're doing, but they might let you be an assistant or a third shooter or a fourth shooter. And I would recommend doing this for free if you have no photos. And I would ask them if you can use your photos that you shot, third, fourth shot, whatever, for your portfolio. And if you're not getting any bites and no one's willing to take you on, which I'm sure that somebody is willing to take you on, be an assistant, be a third shooter for free. And if that doesn't work, I would look up styled shoots or create one like I did. I did a styled shoot with my friends, right? And I bought a wedding dress. So you could do what I did. I also bought flowers at Trader Joe's. So buy a wedding dress, like you can get $100 wedding dresses from David's Bridal in the clearance section. Go to Trader Joe's, make an arrangement, learn how to make flower arrangements, or you can just use one of their pre-made bouquets. Go to a local park or some really pretty area, get somebody dressed up in a wedding dress and go shoot the heck out of that, and use that as your marketing materials on your portfolio. If you can, there are also like planned, organized style shoots that other photographers do. I'll link some below that I find. I sometimes do styled shoots that are organized by other photographers just to get different pictures on my portfolio, just to travel somewhere and have like a different setting and a background. But all kinds of different photographers do content days or styled shoots, and that's a really great way to get content, especially when you don't have any content. So that's a really good way. And then just post your pictures on Instagram and Pinterest. Get a website up and running. There are so many ways you can get free websites. Just set up a website. That's really important. Or a Facebook page, or even an Instagram page, just to get started, just with some of your best curated picture. Once you get a nice portfolio, you can start advertising. I wouldn't do Craigslist anymore because that's a waste of money and they make you pay anyway. I advertise on The Knot, on Facebook and Instagram. Those tend to be the most profitable avenues of advertisement for me. They do cost a lot of money, and so I would say the upfront investment to get more weddings is cost heavy in the beginning, unless you can get word of mouth. If you can find a way to get word of mouth advertising, that's the best way to get more weddings. So second shoot, then eventually take your own weddings. Even if it's weddings for friends, make sure they pay you. Don't do it for free. But just shoot a few weddings, and once you shoot a few weddings on your own, you can even go on Facebook groups and you can find people who are looking for wedding photographers. Maybe somebody who's a friend of a friend, so contact them, hustle, and just set up like an Instagram page. I feel like that's all you really need in this day and age to become a wedding photographer. But I feel like the first step is to second shoot. Second shoot, build your portfolio, shoot your own stuff, shoot styled shoots, and eventually you'll get bookings. It might be slow at first, but I promise you there's somebody who's looking for a starter photographer. For, you know, start low. Don't like lowball it like I did, but start somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 for an 8-hour wedding, and just work your way up. Don't charge $2,000 to start with. Start low. Do those low end bookings in the beginning, and as you get more experience and more people refer you, or you do really well on your online advertisements, you'll be able to book more and more weddings. I hope this was helpful. I feel like I rambled a lot, so you might not like this video, but oh well, this is where I'm at. So I hope this was kind of helpful for you, and you can totally hate on me below in the comments, but that's how I did it. That's how I became a wedding photographer. I do this full time now. Like I said, I shoot 35 weddings a year. I love it. Full-time living. I'm supporting a family of 3 on 1 income, and that's my photography income, and I'm doing really well. So anyway, I guess I kind of know what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel so I can make more rambling videos, and maybe I think they'll get better as time goes on. Thanks everybody. Bye.